Hello everyone, good morning. Today we are going to discuss about rest of the DHCP server. So yesterday we have discussed how to install the DHCP server and configure the DHCP server and how to create a scope in the DHCP server. Today we will discuss about creating DHCP reservations and DHCP server backup and restore and configuring DHCP failover. So first let's discuss about reservation. Reservation means I think you guys are very familiar with this terminology, reservation. So we usually reserve the seats in the train and bus, flight, everywhere, right? Right. So to reserve our seat means do not assign that seat to anyone. So if we reserve, so that we can exclusively seat will reserve for us. That is reservation, right? So like why is here we can reserve the IP address. How we are reserving the seat in bus, train, flight, we can reserve the IP address in the DHCP server. Not to so reservation, if you reserve the IP address in the DHCP server, so the DHCP server will not assign the IP address to any clients, servers, any routers, anything, to any device, to any computing device. The DHCP server will not assign IP address. That is called reservation. Okay. And coming to DHCP server backup. So why we need uh, take servers backup, especially DHCP server backup. DHCP server backup, for example, if unexpectedly, unfortunately, if the scope got deleted, okay, if the scope got deleted, so how can we remember all the scopes? See, in the real time, we have many scopes, and in the scope, we usually accept few IP addresses, and we uh, reserve for DNS and all, and we have many reservations in the scope. So if unfortunately someone delete the scope, then how to restore it? We cannot remember all the stuff. So if you take the backup of DHCP, if suddenly and accidentally, unfortunately, if anyone delete the scope, then we can restore from the backup. Then we can restore from the backup. So I will show you this. So in that cases, we can use backup and restore. Whenever we want restore, we can restore. Go to DHCP. Expand this. See, this is the scope. In the scope, there are many settings, information, data of IP address, right? So if suddenly this scope got deleted, then how can we restore it? If we take backup before DHCP server, if we take backup, if you take a daily backup of DHCP server, then if something happen, we can restore it back simply. Okay, so in that cases, we use backup and restore. Next, configuration. We'll talk about configuration later. Let's do the lab on DHCP reservation. DHCP reservation, how can we reserve the IP address for particular IP address in the DHCP server? Okay, so the reservation, see here nothing was reserved in this. So I would like to reserve the IP address for ADC. Okay, what is the ADC IP address? This is additional domain controller. So additional domain controller IP address is 192.168.223.11. So if you, why we need a reservation actually? Because if you don't reserve, this IP address will assign, there is a chances to assigning the same IP address will to someone else. So that is the reason we need to reserve this IP address. And server's IP address as I said yesterday, server's IP address are static IP address. So why we are using static IP address for server? Because if the server IP address keep changing, if server IP address is keep changing, then it is very difficult to client missions to contact server. Server IP address should be permanent, should not change frequently. So in that cases, we should reserve this IP address, server IP address in the DHCP server. Okay, so there is a process to reserve the IP address in the DHCP server. So right click on it, new reservation. Right click on reservations and click reservation. Here you need to give the reservation name. So I'm just giving this computer name, reservation name, because I'm going to reserve this IP address for this server only. For this server, not to assign this IP address anyone except this server. Okay, so I'm reserving the IP address 192.168.223.11 on this name, on this computer name. Okay, because this IP address dedicatedly reserved for this mission. Okay, so win-adc, win-adc. This is the reservation name. What is the IP address here? 11. So anyway, you no need to type, just type 11. And see, in reservations, if you give name, okay, your mobile number, that is not enough information to reserve the seat in anywhere, like in Red Bus or IRCTC or flight. If you want to book anything, you need to give a identification ID, identification number. So here you need to give the MAC address. MAC address means the system identification number, like our Aadhaar number. So then only reserve the IP address. So IP config all. So this is the IP address. This is the IP address. Okay. This is the MAC address or physical address. So let's copy this. Let's copy and come here and paste here. So I'm telling this DHCP server reserve 11 IP address for this MAC address is the identity number for this MAC address, and this is the reservation name. You can give any reservation name. You no need to give the same name. I'm just giving that. Why I'm giving the reservation name win-adc means so that I can easily identify, oh, this win-adc server having a reservation, IP reservation, so that I can easily identify. So that is the reason I'm giving the computer name, same computer name, for my identification, for my understanding. So description, ADC, additional domain controller server. You can give description of this server. What is this server role or something? You can give description. Okay, click both, add. So this IP is reserved for this server. So in future, of course, it is the same IP address. In future, this IP address won't assign to any computing device, to any computing device. This is how we can reserve the IP address. Okay. Now coming to DHCP server backup and restore. So let me take the backup. How to take the backup? So right click on it, right click on it, right click on it, right click on the server win-adc, right click on it, backup. See, this is a default backup folder. See, in system32 DHCP backup. Let me open the path where that backup is going. See, Windows System 32 DHCP. So this is backup. See, here the backup DHCP server backup will go to this place. Okay. Just click OK. See, it is going to backup folder. So here. So backup folder is empty now. So click OK. Click OK means the DHCP server backup to this location. Done. See, now the backup files are created. Okay. Now I will delete this. I will delete this. See, if I delete the scope here, what will happen? What will happen? So no computer will get the IP address. Entire network will be freezed. I mean, shut down or offline. No one will get the IP address. If we delete the IP scope here in DHCP server, our entire network will be down because no system will get IP address. Because the IP address are going from DHCP server. IP address are assigning by the DHCP server to the client machines. If I delete, no IP address will go to the client machines because no scope here. There is no scope. Nothing. So in that scenario, we can, if we have a backup, we can simply restore it. We can simply restore it. So right click on it, go to restore. So where is the backup? In the backup folder. Click OK. That's it. Click OK. Yes. Would you like to do this? Yes. So now it is restoring. Whatever we deleted, everything is restoring now. So the database was restored successfully. So if you see here, reservation, I just did it. Yeah, still reservation is there. So everything is restored. Now, if the DHCP server is functioning fine, then entire network will be functioning well. Otherwise, network will be down. See, this is the restore. Okay, there is no mandatory to take the backup to this location only. You can take the backup to any location in the system. If you want to take the backup to D drive, you can take to D drive. Anywhere you can take the backup. That is a default backup location. So if you want to take to another location, you can take the backup to another location. Okay. Now, next configuring DHCP server failover. Okay. So why we need a DHCP server failover? Can anyone guess? Why we need a failover? See, for example, if the server is down, if the DHCP server is down, 1 second. Yeah. See, we have a, let me delete this. See, this is the DHCP server. If the DHCP server is down, what will happen? If the DHCP server is down, what will happen? So client machines, not only client machine, every computing device cannot get the IP address. If the DHCP server is down, these machines, computing device will not get the IP address. Hence, the network will be down. Hence, if a computing device won't get the IP address, what will happen? Network will be down. So in such cases, we need a backup server. We need a backup server. We need a backup server. If the server is down, so it takes time to, for example, due to hardware or network or any reasons, or OS crash, due to any reasons, if this DHCP server is down, due to any reasons, if the DHCP server is down, what will happen? It takes some time to come up. Obviously, we don't have any like mantras to bring the server up, right? So we can, it takes time to come up. It takes time to come up. For example, hardware issue may take time, hours or days, or if it is a software, may take hours, or if it is a network, may take hours or days. So until the server online, all this computing device will be down, right? So to overcome this kind of situations in the real time, we need a backup. We need a backup server. Like how we have ADC for DC, here we have a backup server for DHCP. So if I create a backup server, okay, if I create a backup server here, whenever this server goes down, this backup server will take care of the network. So okay, how this server know this server is down? So there is a communication between these two servers. So that is cluster. That is failover cluster. So once this is down, the failover cluster will give the responsibility to the server to take care of this computing devices. That is failover cluster, server failover. For example, if this server is down, if this is down, anyway, this is backup. If this is down, anyway, no issues. The primary server will take care. No issue. Until the primary server is there, will take care. So we are making this DHCP server backup for high availability, to reduce the network downtime. So for this, how to configure secondary, primary and secondary. And one more advantage is also there here. For example, not secondary, backup. That's it. Primary and backup. And one more advantage is also there. For example, the computing devices are increased, which this server cannot handle all the computers. Because, for example, this server handles up to 1,000 requests, let's say 1,000 requests. Based on this server hardware configuration, only requests 1,000. Only 1,000 requests can handle from the client machines. Only 1,000 requests can handle based on this server hardware configuration. But this server getting 2,000 requests, which this server cannot handle 2,000 requests because it exceed his configuration, memory, exceed his memory, storage, everything. So what will happen? The server will be slow first. First, initially, the server will slow down. After that, it leads to server hang. And after that, it will reboot. So if you even human brain also, if you overflow, if you are over, what will happen? We will unconscious, right? Like that, server will unconscious. If the requests are exceeded to this server's capacity, what will happen? Server will in unconscious state. After that, it will reboot. I mean, I'm just giving the no unconscious term in the here. I'm just relating to human brain and server hardware configuration. Okay. So in the scenario, the backup server will share the load. Whatever the server getting load, 2000 request load getting this server. So we can share this load to backup server because both servers are same. It is a clone. See, whatever the information in the primary server, the same information in backup server as well. So the backup server will share the load what the primary server getting. Hence, the server will not go in unconscious or hang stays. So in that scenario also, backup server helps share the load of primary servers. It will share the primary server load. Now the both servers share the load equally and serve the computing device without any issues. This is how we configure backup server in the real time. Are you clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Good. Thank you. Now we will create a backup server. We will create a backup server in the lab. Okay. So for backup server, see, in DHCP, I installed in domain controller, DC. In DC, here there is no DC. Okay. See, if you see here, no DHCP server, no DHCP server. So we will enable DHCP server here. We will install the DHCP server in ADC server. So we'll make a DHCP as a backup. Okay. So go to add roles and features. Click next, click next, click next, and enable DHCP role. Enable DHCP role. Click next. Click next. Click next. Restart if required. Install. So now I'm installing DHCP role in ADC server. Okay, once it is role is enabled, then we will configure. Then we will configure the DHCP. Still it is installing. Okay, it's done. Click close. Succeeded. Click close. Now click this notification area. Complete DHCP configuration. Click here. Click next. Select. Click commit. Click commit. Configuration is done. Now go to tools and click DHCP server. Here nothing. So it's a fresh server. Nothing, no scope. See, nothing inside the DHCP server. Nothing inside the DHCP server. Just this is it's a fresh DHCP server. So now I will fail over this. So go to DC. Okay, go to DC, and this is a scope. Scope is important, right? Yeah. Right click on scope. Configure failover. Configure failover. So failover means if this server is fail, then the request should be failover to that server. And also share the load equally. Okay, click next. You need to select a partner server. What is a partner server? Add partner server. So this is win-ad. What is the computer name here? Local win-adc. Win-adc. Okay. Now we need to select browse win-adc.arn.com. Just check name. Okay, click OK. Win-adc. This is the partner server. Okay. See, win-adc. Win-adc server added. Click next. See here, relationship. What is the relationship name? You can give the relationship name. So, or you can leave it as it is also. That's fine. Or you can give a different name also. That's a fine. Okay. So maximum client lead time, 1 minute. Okay. See, load balancing percentage, 50%, 50%. So share the load equally. Share the load equally. What are the load getting? You share the load equally. Okay, maximum client lead time 1 hour. So till 1 hour, if the machine didn't get update from the client DHCP server, so it will fail. Next, give the name, some secret name, or you give the administrator password if you want. Okay, click next. For example, if you want to change the percentage, for example, this server is high-end configuration. Okay, give 60% or 55% based on the hardware configuration. This is hardware configuration less than local server. So you can give 45% like this. Okay, finish. Configuration successful. Close. Okay. Now click here and go to just refresh. See, everything is come here. Now, if you see here, see, everything is. So whatever the information here, that will be replicated to here. So if the DC is down, ADC will take care. Or both are running, share the load equally. So that is what DHCP failover. Any questions?
No, sir.
So, thank you. That's all for today. See you tomorrow. Have a great day.
Yes, sir.